Hello again, everyone. This is DIZ, and today I chose to debut one card. I'm going to dedicate this video to the card Evade, Block, Grab, Parry. So I want to talk about Evade, Block, Grab, Parry. Now, evade or block or grab a parry, or evade, block, grab, parry, whatever you want to call it. Parry, grab, block, evade. This card is one of the prototypical cards that pass completely to succession, and that's very rare. What that means is that when I create a card and I stipulate that card for balance, and I go through those protocols to see if the card is well worded or if it's worth printing and so forth. What normally happens is that the prototypical cards are highly capable, they're high detail, they happen to have a lot of ability. Sometimes they're advantageously simplistic, which is equally powerful in a lot of games, especially this one. And these cards that I print, they're so powerful and unbalanced that I normally don't print them. But Evade, Block, Grab, Parry is a special card because even though it's one of those quote-unquote what I like to call super cards, it's a perfectly balanced device, to a feature to add to the game. Everyone will be able to enjoy it. It has multiple functions. Evade, Block, Grab, Parry is literally named with slashes. I'm going to zoom in so you can see. The card is available in the group, so you can see it there. I'm also going to make cards available. These cards are going to be available on Google Drive soon enough, I think. And so about this card, I'm going to read this card to you. Theatrically pretend to avoid or intercept an attack from or grab a target character or item. Then there's an equation. You compare, which is a mechanic. Now, I'm going to talk about the utilization of this card real quick. While you're playing the game, you have this card in hand, you pull it out of your group of cards, and you select it during the panic step for your act step. In this case, you're assuming that someone in attack range is going to use an offensive card and they're going to attack you, and if they do, this card will stop that attack. And I want to go ahead and rephrase again about supercard. Supercards, like this one, can stop any attack. This is literally worded the way it works. Theatrically pretend to avoid or intercept an attack from or grab a target character or item. So you can stop the attack, you can grab the attack, you can grab another character even though they're not attacking you. You can block an attack, and you can evade an attack, you can dodge. And according to which function you use for this card, compare reflex to evade. Those are stats. We would have to go back to the stat cards, just reflexes on movement. You would compare your movement cards to see who has a higher reflex and hope that no one has any additional cards to summon upon to increase their reflex score for the compare step. That's what that does. And if your reflex is higher, you completely avoid the attack. If it's equal, I think it has to do with who's attacking. You have to beat their reflex. Equal and they hit you. I'll have to check the rule book, but I think that's exactly how it works. Fortitude to block. You compare fortitude, you find fortitude in the physiology stat card. And you would compare fortitudes. If another character, another player is attacking you, and you use this card and you block it, your fortitude from your physiology card will be compared to the fortitude of the attacker's physiology card. You might have different cards, but the fortitude is what comes up. And the higher the fortitude, the more likely the success. If they're equal, it is the attacker's gain. Holding to grab, you find that on the strength stat card. And you can grab anything. If you succeed, if you have an equal or higher holding score, then you can grab another player's character. You can just grab them. You can grab anything. All you have to do is beat the holding and you grab it. If you're equal in grabbing and holding, then you succeed because it's your attempt. And charisma to parry. So you can actually, if someone attacks you, you can actually disable that attack by using your own attacks. So you can literally attack the ends of someone else's attack. You can place swords or cross hands and feet. It's all theatrical. You have to remember, it's acting skills. There's no real contact in this game, but these are things that you can do. You're capable of it because you have cards like these. If your stats are equal or higher, you succeed at this attempt. If your stats are lower, you fail at this attempt. That's evade, block, grab, parry. This is a useful card because other cards that require you to hold on to something before you throw it, or have some ability that requires you to be holding, etc. This card is a great shortcut to grab a hold of something. You won't need it in every sense. There are free scenes. I'll describe a little bit about free scenes. A free scene is an action scene or a drama scene where act steps are not counted. And you don't have to pull out cards. It's a free acting scene. It's like catching a movie on film. Anyway, in combat scenes, you use these cards to keep order. Evading. This card is super effective because if you succeed with evading on this card, you completely avoid the attack. No matter what the shape, no matter what the danger zone, no matter what the reach, no matter what. If you evade an attack and you succeed statistically, this is one of the only cards that will let you completely out of the way. Other cards will reduce damage, or they'll allow your opponent to compensate, or they'll check your opponent's accuracy. This doesn't do any of that. That's evade, block, grab, parry. So you have it in your cards. The panic step comes. You choose it. You don't have to let anybody know what you chose, but you have the card. The panic step comes. You use the card. You theatrically pretend to avoid and get out of the way. Or you theatrically pretend to block or grab or parry. You can't do all of these things. The wording is very specific with or. But the options and the versatility lie in this card. And I can't stress enough how important these kinds of cards are, because in order to get this card, you need the Common and Clash Trait Ability card. You can see it here on the Evade, Block, Parry Common and Clash Trait Ability card under the needs. And so a commoner can evade, block, grab, parry. And this is another reason why a commoner is very dangerous, because a commoner can switch up fight on you if they time this well. And they're not too far outnumbered, and they make good utilization out of their opportunities. A commoner can beat a level 100 character not with ease, but with plausibility, because the game is very balanced for reasons like cards like these. Everyone, evade, block, grab, parry. See you on the other side.